Hodder and Stoughton Audio presents Remember Me This Way by Sabine Durrant. Read for you by Penelope Rawlins and Daniel Weyman.
Zack. I stood on the common and watched her up in the school library. The lights were on, and she passed by the window twice. The third time, she leaned her elbows on the sill and looked out. She seemed to stare straight at me, though I knew I was hidden, my back pressed against the tree, my face concealed behind a web of branches. I had it in mind to step forward when a man came into view behind her, and as she turned, I saw her laugh, a chink of white throat. I imagined his lips then in the dip of her neck, where the vein throbs, her eyes closing, his hands on the swell of her breasts. If I know for sure that she has moved on, that she has forgotten what we had, I'll kill her. She has no one to blame but herself.
Chapter 1. Lizzie. February half-term, 2013. A deep breath. Petrol, manure, the mineral tang of salt. I'm not that far from the sea, even here. My face is damp from the drizzle and the spray of tyres on wet road. I'm gripping the flowers in both hands now, like a bride. I chose hyacinths, though I wasn't sure. Blue ones only. Zack told me you should only ever have one colour in a bunch. I wrapped the stems in wet kitchen roll and secured them in a small freezer bag. Either I made the paper too wet, or there's a small hole in the bag, because water is seeping out. It's dripping down to my elbow. Over the road, I can see a slope of grass, a copse of blunt trees, the shadow of a hill behind. Above that, sky the colour of dirty sheep, darker patches, a dribble of falling sun in the distance as the cold afternoon closes in. I'm concentrating hard on all these things, because I know that somewhere in the corner of my vision, across the carriageway and away to the left, is the spot. But I'm not going to look. Not yet. It is Valentine's Day. Exactly a year since my husband's car crash. And I'm 200 miles from home, beside an A road in the middle of Cornwall. This trip is an ending, or a beginning. I'm not quite sure which. It's time to move on. People tell me that all the time. I'm trying to believe them. I pick my moment between the streaming cars and run. When I reach the far side, I look back at the lay-by where my Nissan Micra sits, rocking in the backdraft of the passing lorries. My dog watches me from the side window. I've had a feeling since I parked that I'm being shadowed. It's probably just the remoteness of the place. So many people driving past, no one else stopping. Or it's guilt. Guilt about all sorts of things, but mostly that I should have come sooner. It's conventional to visit the scene of a fatal accident, to leave flowers. All those lampposts decked with cellophane where poor cyclists have been killed. It's less usual to leave it this long. The night it happened, when PC Morrow came to the door, she would have brought me here straight away. The patrol car was waiting. My sister Peggy stopped me. She told Morrow I needed to go home with her, not drive 5 hours to a wet, windswept Cornish roadside to smoke and wreckage. It would be insane, she said. I could go another time. Zack was gone. There was nothing I could do. And it wasn't as if I didn't know what happened. Morrow, fresh from her family liaison training, went over it again and again. I understood about the lethal combination.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?